Okay, I promised I was going to show you every step of my process for getting ready to go shoot F-class. I need to load up some test ammo. I need to figure out if my depth is actually at the most accurate seating depth, the bullet seating depth as I can find. And I've been shooting it for a few years with a specific setting. And I just want to go back and double check it and make sure that I'm not leaving some accuracy on the table. I want to go find everything I can. So I currently am shooting 1.910 Ogive in my rifle, and the measurement I measured last the other day was 1.941 for where the lands were, where I was hitting the rifling for the Ogive. So I am going to go ahead and load 5 rounds up at the 1.910, which is what I'm currently shooting, and then I'm going to go up 15 thousandths, and I'm going to shoot 5 more at 1.925, and then I'm going to go up 15 more thousandths, and I'm going to go to 1.940. So I'll be right at the rifling, and then I'm going to load 5 more at 1.945. So I will be just pushed into the rifling, and I'm going to see how that goes. Anyway, this is my standard load. I'm going to load it up, and what you're not going to see is me depriming my brass, cleaning my brass, and annealing my brass. I don't anneal very often, but these had been shot quite a few times and had not been annealed. Oh, by the way, this is Lapua match brass, so best brass I can find. Anyway, you're not going to see those steps because I've already got a big pile of them up there that I did that to a few months ago. So what you will see me is I'm going to neck size them, and then I'm going to deburr the mouth inside and out. Then I'm going to seat primers, and then I'm going to load powder and seat a bullet, and then we'll be done. Hold on, because here we go. These are this is a Lee neck sizing die. So I know most people tell me that I'd be more accurate using different dies, but so far these work for me. I've got other calibers that I use reddings in. I think I've got some Widens. I've also got some, I don't know, Wilsons maybe, and those are reddings. Anyway, I've got a number of different dies that I have for different calibers. I've tried redding dies with the 223, and I just haven't had any luck with them, so I went back to my Lees, and I got no complaints, so I'm just going to keep at it. Now, one of the things I do like to do with the neck sizing on the Lee dies is I like to size it for a couple of seconds, turn that brass about 1/3 of the way around, size it for a couple more seconds, turn the brass one more time. So basically I'm sizing this neck 3 times and not letting it bounce back too quick. So there we go. I'm going to do this 30 more times, 29 more times. I guess before I get too far, I should show you what this is doing. Alright, so when it fired that bullet, the brass expanded. The bullet flew out. The brass on the outside dynamometer right now, it's not exactly round, but it's close, is 0.255 inches. Now after I neck size it, it goes down to 0.248. Alright, so now let's measure the inside. So where the bullet is, this is a 223 Remington, which is actually 0.224 bullets. This one's, after it's been fired, after it's been fired, this one says 0.222. That might be a little, yeah, 0.22221. So brass tends to bounce back where it comes from, so it shot that bullet and kind of bounced back. But now that I've neck sized, the inside is 0.220. So it's 2,000. It's for one thing, it's been rounded, and the second thing is it's now a consistent 0.220 all the way across. And I'm going to put a 0.224 bullet in there, so it will have 4 thousandths of pressure holding that bullet in. Now, the bench rest guys, accuracy guy gurus will tell you 2 to 3, maybe 4 thousandths is where you really want to be. You want to hold that bullet, but you don't want to overhold it. Now, some of your factory ammo is probably sitting at 8, 9, 10 thousandths of grip. They're loading those things for long term. They don't want those bullets to get banged around, going in and out of your gun when you're hunting and things like that. So they put a lot more grip on their bullets than guys like me who are working for accuracy. Alright, so now the other thing I want to check real quick is to make sure that they are really coming out round. This is a concentricity gauge, and let me get it set up here. Okay, it's in the middle. That looks pretty good. Alright, so basically where this, let's lower you down a little bit. This meter's reading right now. I can lift that gauge up and you can see it goes up and down. So that's where it's sitting on that, on the piece of brass. Now as I roll this piece of brass, if the gauge moves, that means it's not round. And most people are looking to where that doesn't bounce more than about 2 or 3 thousandths of an inch. Each one of these notches is a thousandth of an inch. And I just did that one, and it only moved like 1/1000th. So it's quite round. And some of this bouncing is me gripping it, not spinning it. Again, I think there's less than 1,000ths of concentricity issues there. So these are very concentric, which is good, because the more concentric it is, the more that bullet is centered right down the middle of your barrel, and therefore it's not bouncing or having to adjust as it's going, and inherently that makes it more accurate. And the more concentric your bullets are in the brass, in the gun, makes everything more accurate. So alright, we're good to go. I'm going to keep going on. See, now I've had people tell me that Lee dies can't do what I just did. I mean, they're like, there's no way you can have that great of concentricity with Lee dies, and yet here I'm doing it. So, some people just like what they like, and they're going to say bad things about what they don't like, whether they know the knowledge or not. I just know from firsthand I've had a lot of great experience with most of my Lee dies. Okay, excuse the banging around. Now we're going to deburr, basically get any sharp edges off the inside of the mouth and the outside of the mouth with these two. I go about, I don't know, 3 seconds on each one. And then I also like to clean the neck, so I just run it down the brush there. And I also clean out a little of that carbon buildup with this primer pocket brush. So anyway, here we go. This is a RCBS. Back when they first started making these, I think they might have been the first company to make one of these tools. Everybody's making them now, but this one's just been trucking along for, I don't know, 12, 13 years now, maybe 15. I don't know. I've had it a long time. Same thing with my powder thrower. I've been wanting a new powder thrower, but the old one just keeps trucking. So, you know, don't fix what ain't broke. There you go. It's all shiny on the outside, shiny on the inside, no dirt there, ready to go. Alright, let's put that noisemaker away. Much better. Alright. There it goes. Alright. Let's see if I, nope, don't have anything out here. Using CCI small rifle primers number 400. So, alright. So, this is how I prime. I use the tool. Slide that bad boy in there. I'm going to take the dies out for a second. Find my small rifle primer. Okay, let's slow down. There it goes. Alright. It's pretty simple. This thing sticks out. Primers are all stacked up in there. Gravity's just pulling them all down. And there's a little switch here. When you push this forward, it kind of slides in, and then when the bottom meets this, it stops. It's also meeting this base on the bottom, so it's got nowhere to go. And then you keep pushing this forward and down, and it presses a primer in there. So then when you lower the ram, put a piece of brass in there, there's something in there that pulls that bad boy. It's got a little spring here, and you just push it up till it's tight. Make sure it's seated deep enough, and you're ready. Primed and ready to go. Just that easy. I used to use a little hand tool to prime, but I got a lot better feel with this, and I think I'm also quite a bit faster with this. You know what I forgot to do? I came in here tonight. I forgot to turn the air conditioner down. It's 80 degrees in here. I am cooking. No wonder I needed a snack. Where did I put my snack? That's the next question. Pretty. Alright, I guess I need to go get some powder. $48.95. We're looking for 25 grains. Let's see if it'll throw 25. Sometimes it likes to throw a tenth of a grain over. Yep, 25.1. Alright, so I'm going to load up a few fowlers, so that doesn't matter. Look at that, I already spilled the powder. Okay, so we're going to set this for 24.9. See if it starts throwing. 25. Alright, we also need to measure this. .961. Wow. Alright, so we need to go in about 15. Let's try right there. Look at that, nailed it. 1.945. You're going to put that bad boy right there. And can't make up its mind. good. Going for the gusto here. Okay, some of you are probably wondering, if you've been watching closely, let's see, what all this is about. Alright, so I like to document everything about my load so that if I, something happens and I don't get to go shoot this weekend or next weekend, when I come back to it 3 months from now, whatever, I know exactly what I've done, what I've got. And alright, so what I've got here is I have 5 rounds loaded at the Ogive of 1.910. On this row, I've got 5 rounds loaded at 1.925. I got 5 rounds loaded at 1.940. I have 5 rounds loaded at 1.945. All of these rounds have H4895, 25 grains. Don't go put that in your rifle. You need to work up to your loads and figure out what your rifle likes, whether it's that powder and whether it's that much powder. Do not shoot my load. That's just what my rifle likes. Every rifle has its own accuracy node that it really likes, and you just have to work to find it. We can go over that some other time. But right now, part of finding the accuracy, I found the accuracy node at 25 grains with mine. And what that means, that accuracy node means, is that if I load 24.8 or 24.9 or 25.1 or 25.2, because that amount of powder, that variation right there, I have found, shoots this bullet between 3140 and 3150 feet per second. So if I accidentally don't put exactly 25 grains of powder in there, if I come a little short or a little heavy, it's still going the same speed, because that's just the way my rifle shoots this bullet in that much powder. So every rifle is different. Keep that in mind. Now, these F's, they stand for Fowlers. So when I first get out there, the day I'm going to shoot these, I'm most likely going to shoot these at 200 yards. Last time I took this rifle out, I'd have to go look, but I don't know if I shot it at 100 yards or 200 yards. So I've got a few rounds here that I can shoot to make sure I'm on paper and that it's close enough to where I want to hit every time, that I'm going to be able to measure 5 shots together and see which of these 5 sets are the best. But I've got 5 rounds to get it right where I want it before I start shooting this first one. Now what I'll do, and now you see there's a Fowler in front of each group. So what I'll do is I'll probably use 4 of these to get it all set up and right where I want. And then I'll let the barrel cool down for a few minutes. And then when I'm ready, I'll look and record what my barrel temperature is. And I'll shoot this round as a fowler, and then I'll shoot these 5 at one target. I'll then let the barrel cool down again, and I'll wait until that barrel gets to the same temperature it was before I shot this one. So I'm comparing apples to apples. My barrel, in all 4 of these, I'm going to let it cool down, and I'm going to start with it at the same temperature for each set of 5 rounds that I shoot. That way, this one, because if I just went out there and just shot all these right in a row, the barrel would be really hot and shooting a lot differently with these than these. So I just want to make everything as consistent as I can, so the only factor that I'm really testing is my ogive length. So I'm trying to eliminate all other factors. Now, one of the things I'm not going to be able to eliminate is the wind. So if I get out there and it's too windy, I may not shoot it. Or I may change my mind and go shoot it at 100 yards where the wind's not going to affect me as much. So anyway, I have the ability to adjust as I need to now because I've got these fowlers. I can make sure they're all consistent. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I am now ready to go test these. Hopefully this weekend I'll be able to go out and do that. I think it may be a little wet and rainy. Chances are about a 50% chance of rain on this weekend. So anyway, we will see. So yeah, I guess our next video will be out at the range shooting these up. Hope y'all are learning something. If you got any questions, go ahead and put some comments down there, and I'll see if I can answer them. I'm definitely no expert, but I have fun, and I shoot fairly accurately with mostly factory guns. A few tinkerings here and there, but anyway, talk to you next time. Later.